Okay, so I'm continuing on from part 2 of looking at the pre-rendered backgrounds on the Resident Evil 2 demo disc. And I'm going into the 200 set now, and a lot of these are going to look familiar, but there are some weird things sprinkled through, and you might even see different versions of rooms you might have already seen before. Now this is the, I don't know I forgot what this room is called, but you find the diary of the guys playing, I think it's chess or something. It's either chess or cards. It's kind of like the Itchy Tasty journal in a way. That's where you find it in this room. This does look like, I think it's missing the items here. That's why it looks a little different. But this is like right before you go down to the basement. And here we have an unfinished version of it. This looks like very basic version of that room. With different viewpoints. And this is room 210 in the set. Some of these I may skip because I do notice, like, I actually jumped up from where I last left off because there are a lot of rooms that were just things that have already been seen, and it's nothing new. So let's see, with 209, I'm probably going to be skipping quite a bit. Let's see if we can find anything new. This is the evidence room. It's the evidence room, so you can see the different viewpoints. I don't think there's anything new in here. Okay, save room with the photo development area. Nothing new here. What is that weird? It's like a weird thing here. Yeah, nothing new. I do notice that in these, it's possibly because it's animated, the actual lid. But I notice whenever I'm looking at these viewpoints for the backgrounds, that whenever a item box shows up, it's missing a lid. So that's probably because the lid's actually animated. I thought maybe they actually had like a full 3D model for it, but I guess not. And then we have the photo room. I think there's only one shot here. This is like the area leading up to the statue puzzle in the safe room. So we have, I'm not sure why this shows up right after the save room door, because I believe this is supposed to be down the hallway going to the evidence room, but it has a completely different door than yeah, as you can see here. There's not like this little keypad or something on the side here, because you just get the, I think it's the diamond key for this door to open it. But I believe it looks like, yeah, this looks like some sort of, I'm not sure what it is. It's definitely like a panel of some sort that you would interact with. And the door's definitely different. Like it's locked in a different way. So it looks like it actually looks more secure, which makes more sense for it being an evidence room. The other one is just a door that could probably be kicked in. Although this is actually missing, see the, this doesn't have a knob on it either. This area here resembles the one from, like this weird lock thing here. So, just strange. Okay, I had to skip a room, but, so this does look, you know, normal as it appears in the game, but I noticed there are some viewpoints that have some stuff that does not look, actually there's some entrances here. I think that's normally supposed to be a window, possibly. It's hard to tell in the game because there's like a lot of spaces that have the wood over them, like blockades or whatever. They're all boarded up, and of course when you walk by them after doing some things in the game, the zombie hands come out. But this actually, like, it's hard to actually get a better view of it because I think this is the only view that focuses on it, but this actually looks more like a door, that's missing the actual door to it. Or it could be, some sort of rounded window. Let's see, there are some other ones here. I think that's usually in the game. I'm not quite sure. I usually remember this having more wood over it, though. And then, I don't know, maybe the windows don't seem as familiar, but maybe I just don't quite remember. Because it looks like, I don't remember this many windows, like, being open like that, going down this hallway. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. So I don't remember this being here. But normally it's boarded up. Okay, this is the... I think it's considered an archive room. It's got a bunch of records and stuff in it. Maybe it's considered a record room. But there is... Let's see, I think there's like an unfinished view of it. Of the shelves untextured with no files or books or anything on it. So, interesting, sort of. I know this actually... that's interesting. This shelf is actually much bigger than it originally is right here. It's missing that little glass door on it. Or the little sliding door. Now this is the room where you run into Marvin and, you know, the birthday stuff from Leon. I think there was a few shots in here. I was trying to figure out why there are close-ups to this area, but I think it's because when you come back in here and Marvin's... Well, I think he's like kind of on the ground here, so that's why there's like a bunch of blood, and then he turns into a zombie. He like gets up and zombifies, and then you have to fight him. Just with this shot here, I think this is for like a close-up on him, because I was wondering why this is like focused on the wall, but it's for that specific scene. And then, I don't even know what this is here. So. Okay, I'm actually going, I had to skip quite a few rooms, but I'm in the 100 set now, and this is actually the upper floor. It's an unfinished version of it, or a very basic looking version. I don't know if those windows are supposed to be like the ones in the final version of the lobby. You can see this is even missing a door here. It's just a frame. Kind of looks like different versions of it. Are we going back here? Oh, I see. So yeah, just 3 viewpoints of a base for the upper floor. This is room 111, and obviously the clock room, but differently styled. A lot of unfinished pieces here. A lot of placeholder objects. And yeah, I don't know, these large gears here, I don't think they're in the final version of Resident Evil 2. I think they're supposed to be... I know it's kind of hard to tell because there's usually like a thing in front of it that you insert the smaller gear into to activate, like the little thing that opens up here. And I don't even know if there's I can't remember if this whatever it is, the railing here, was there in the final version or not. I'm having to skip over quite a bit here. This is also a familiar area. The only thing I wanted to point out is in the... Oh, you notice the door is actually missing here because I think it's animated. But the one thing I wanted to point out is in the demo for Resident Evil 2, instead of a van being in this area like it is in the final game, there's just a dumpster here. And I think in the final version, in the van, you can get an item out of it. I'm not so sure about the dumpster though, but that's something they changed in the final version. I don't know if anything's changed about these areas here. Actually, yeah, because I don't remember all these dumpsters being here. I think it was actually replaced with cars being in the way. Pretty sure they added more cars over here. Here we actually have, this is room 50D, so I'm getting up to the last group of rooms. This is an unfinished version of the, I guess when you first go into like the power maintenance area, this is where the little elevator is supposed to be to go down. This is like a base for it, I guess. Untextured base. I actually came across this in the version of 1.5 I played, so I guess this is supposed to be in 1.5 as well. This area had a lot of views for it. This is actually from 1.5, and I believe this is the area that goes to the power maintenance section that you saw, that unfinished version of it. So it looks a little similar to the one in Resident Evil 2, like the little hall, but well, actually it might be the same, because the thing is I don't remember this like lighted thing here, this label for the floor. And I remember in 1.5 there's actually 2 sections of this instead of just like one hallway that's in the final version of Resident Evil 2. And there's like a timer or something. Like when you activate the door, it'll like open for a short bit and then you sort of have to like run towards it. As I think when I was playing as Leon in 1.5 you have to hurry up to it and then it'll shut, and then you can't actually get back through it. And then you have to find another way around. I'm pretty sure you don't have to do that in the final version of Resident Evil 2, so I'm pretty sure this is like more of a 1.5 thing. This is also a 1.5 area of the lab, I believe, because you've got some stasis tubes here. I think they might actually supposed to have parts of G in it. This looks like the elevator that you take out of the lab. Or maybe up to the lab, I'm not sure. Once again, another 1.5 part of the lab. I think I've actually seen something like this when I was showing rooms earlier. This is another... Okay, this goes to another part of the hangar, I guess. This looks actually more unfinished than the one I showed earlier, though. Because if it had the same label, that looks like C2. So I don't know if this is just a different version of it. I may have showed the damaged version of it when there's actually, when the lighting's, like more orange, and when there's more damage to the walls. And then you get a close-up of the door. So this is an area in of the lab in 1.5, but there's also a version of this in Resident Evil 2, but I think the stasis tubes are more damaged and there's different things in them. Like this view here I recall being the one I remember in Resident Evil 2, but there's usually like a hunter in one of the stasis tubes, and they're usually damaged, like the glass is damaged, and there's some bodies around. I don't know if the Resident Evil 2 version is as big as this one, though. But this is definitely the 1.5 version of that area. This is also a 1.5 area. I think it leads up from the sewers and goes into the factory area. There's really not much to it. You can actually see... the bottom, I showed a room before that kind of looked like, I think it might have been an arms manufacturing area. I'm not quite sure, because there's a belt here and there were crates of ammo and stuff like that. So you can actually see like it from above here. but there's not much to this area. This is also a little side area in 1.5. I think it actually leads from that gun manufacturing area, or the factory area. It's just like a little small space here. You can get some guns out of lockers. And that's it. So I've sort of showed something similar to this in the last video, but I believe this set of, or this version of it actually has more views of the lobby that you come into from this side of the RPD. So I'm going to take a look at that, because we've kind of already seen these viewpoints here. And I think this is actually an unfinished version of that lobby. Yeah, there's not a lot to it. It's very plain looking. But we do get a nice close-up of the umbrella sign that's here. So, I mean, it's funny because if this is part of the RPD, the connection with the umbrella is way too obvious. I mean, their sign is just right there. I mean, it would be funny if they were actually hosting some umbrella offices in here, in a part of the RPD. And this is room 30C, but it actually is, once again, it's showing the lobby. But this time it actually has some different viewpoints of that sign, like from the staircase. Just wanted to show it for a little bit. Like this here, this is a different view of it. This is actually a closer look at it. I remember this area in, actually, you can get to this with the debugger for 1.5, and it's supposed to be the shaft. In Resident Evil 2, there is like a shaft area you go through that has like the fans for the water treatment plant. This is just, I don't know, because it looks like there's an area that you would jump down, and who knows where that would be. I'm assuming somewhere in the sewers you would jump down here and then go through the shaft, and who knows where it leads. Because you actually, like, there's no way to get to this area. I had to use the debugger in order to jump to it. This is another, this is a 1.5 office in the RPD, and I'm not sure which side of the RPD it's supposed to be on. One thing I admire about these kind of rooms, though, especially in 1.5, like when they actually have detail added to them, when they're actually finished, it's how like messy they look. It's obvious that there was a struggle going on here or something, or maybe someone going through like the files or the papers here. And you don't see that nearly as much in a lot of the rooms in Resident Evil 2. They're a lot more clean looking. You sort of notice it in the STARS room. Like it seems obvious that someone's going through the desks and stuff, but I noticed like the mess is more apparent in a lot of the rooms in 1.5. Like it looks like an outbreak has been going on. This is let's see, this is room 21D. This is the unfinished version of the kennel. And 1.5's kennel is a lot different. I think they actually combined the kennel area with the generator room for 1.5, and that room's actually like quite large. This is just like a small room. It actually looks kind of like a copy of the prison room with the layout, the thing going to the side here. And then you have the manhole, which doesn't actually have a hole in it, that goes to the sewers. Some views of the cages here, or cells for the dogs. And then this is, of course, is the finished version of the kennel. Actually, I noticed get back to it here. You know, some of the things are missing from... Actually, let me go back to the previous one. Let me see something. Okay, so this looks a bit different, maybe? I wish these didn't take as long to load. Okay, it looks the same. It was just not textured completely. So this is Chief Iron's room, and I actually took a look at it before and found some interesting things in it, other than the fact that it's unfinished and doesn't have all the taxidermy stuff in it. Here you have Kendo being used as a placeholder and the female zombie in place of the mayor's daughter. I guess they were trying to, like, I don't know, work out some scenes with the room or something. As the chief is normally sitting in here when you come in here, so with the mayor's daughter there, and then he disappears later. And you can see the area that goes to the elevator. And then more viewpoints with Kendo, the Kendo placeholder, and the puzzle. This is just weird. But yeah, just like using them for placeholders to kind of like plan on a scene or something in the room. That is just so strange with the female zombie. And then, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be for. This is like an unfinished view. More unfinished stuff. It's probably earlier stuff before they actually finished the room. But yeah, I thought that was just really weird to find. Kendo being used as a Chief Iron's placeholder. Now, this is another, I'm not going to show too much of this room because this is the East office, but an interesting thing that I found about this is the back area of the East office in Resident Evil 2's RPD. But this area here is you normally have like the body of an officer laying here and the door that goes to outside, but when you look at it closer, I believe, so this might be an earlier version of this section here. There's no door, there's like a light here. I guess there wouldn't be a body because this is a pre-rendered background, but there's like a little shelf here, which seems kind of odd just to have like this huge hallway going to this like little shelf shoved in like the back of this area here. It's just a little weird. It makes a lot more sense to have like a door going outside here. I do wonder, I mean, since there is a focus on this area here, I gotta wonder what you would have gotten out of this shelf. Or if there was this, it looks like there's a bunch of health items in here, so maybe this is like their first aid or something. And this looks like a box for ammo, so who knows. So unfortunately I'm getting to about the last, I think 4 or 3 rooms that I have. And I don't even know what this area is supposed to be. It's an unfinished area. So we got a bunch of views here of absolutely nothing. So I have no idea what sort of room this is supposed to be. So we have a huge door here. Maybe this was supposed to be, it kind of looks like with the layout, maybe it's supposed to be the chief's office or that hallway. That would probably have like that tiger here, and then you go down the hallway and it leads into that little side room where he stores a bunch of stuff. But hard to tell from this. So this is the upper floor of the area that's close to the save room on the west side of the RPD, and I found something interesting while looking through this hallway here. As you notice, this is the statue that's here with the puzzle that you're supposed to move the statues for, and then if you pay attention to the way the art looks here, just pay attention to this and then the way the statue looks. This is what it originally looks like in the final version of Resident Evil 2, but when I actually moved the viewpoint, there's a very strange statue here, and it actually resembles I think it's still different, but it resembles the statue that's in, I guess you would call it an art storage room that's on the east side of the RPD, where you would put the 2 rubies. Well, not into this specific statue, but the there's like 2 smaller ones that are on the walls that you'd put the 2 rubies in, and then you get a key. I think it gives you the club key. Or the, I don't remember which key you get, but this is similar to that. And then you notice the art piece on the side here is also changed, so... And then it changes back to what it's originally supposed to be. So you go back to this. This is what it originally looks like. I do know also, this is much closer. This corner here has changed, and there's no side door as well. So maybe that was what... just an earlier version of what this area was supposed to be. So that's it for all the rooms. This is room 10A, and I don't think there's anything different about this. This is just the area where the helicopter crashed into. You can see it without the flames. But that's it, pretty much, for all the stuff in the Resident Evil 2 demo disc for the pre-rendered backgrounds. Now, I actually went through... There's some files called pics, which are like the little inventory pictures and stuff, and I thought I might look through those to see if there's any inventory items, like any early inventory items that don't show up in the final version of Resident Evil 2. So I'm going to take a look at those, since I didn't have too many rooms when new stuff to look at during this part of the, I guess the video series that I'm doing with this. So I'll probably take a look at those and see what I can find. We'll take a look at here. It's interesting looking at the destruction here. I think this does look a bit different from the final version. Because it looks like more of the wall has been broken away. And, yeah, because I think this is actually cleared up a bit more. Like, the wall is actually a bit straighter. I wish I had, like, a comparison shot for this, but I don't think the destruction sticks into the doorway quite as much in the final version. Yeah, the walls look different too. It's not quite as damaged like this. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the basically they're called .pix files, and I had to convert them into .tim image format to be able to look at them, and I'll see if there's anything new I can find. If I don't, then this will probably be the final thing that I show for now. And hopefully I can find some new stuff. I'm actually interested in looking into some of the, like maybe finding some more demo discs, especially Resident Evil related, or looking at Gun Survivor 1 disc to see if I can find any interesting things on that, or any early stuff. So who knows if I find anything or not. But it's just interesting to look at. Okay, so I did come across some items I didn't recognize going through the .pix files, and I converted them to I guess the TIM image format. These are all the items that are supposed to that you can find in Resident Evil 2, or they show up in your inventory. So these are like the inventory pictures for them, and I came across a few that I didn't recognize in the game. And unfortunately, I don't know if they're 1.5 items or just stuff that didn't make it into Resident Evil 2. So the thing I have here, wish I can get, well, I can't zoom it in too much without it looking kind of too pixely, but this looks like a wristwatch here. And then, let's see, this, I think we have something, I'm trying to find it here. There's some chemicals here that I don't recognize. I know some of these are like the, related to the vaccine, but there are a couple of colors here, so I'm not sure if they're supposed to be related to the vaccine or something else. So we have a few here, different colors. And then there's a blue, yes, a blue first aid spray, which Unless there's supposed to be one in the game that like has different effects, I don't think we come across a blue version of it. I think it's usually the green one that's here. That's the most recognizable. Let's see what else is in here. I'm trying to get back to the watch. Okay, so this is the watch. Yeah, this is all familiar. Bunch of key cards. I don't think we got. Is there a yellow key card? I don't think there is one. I think in 1.5 there's actually a yellow key card. I just don't remember the area. Actually, it might be for the lab. So, okay, this is one of the those animal puzzle pieces. These actually look a bit different than the final versions, though. You notice that? Because I think they're front view in the final version of Resident Evil 2. And you can actually see, like, the engraving on them much better when they're front view. You can actually tell what they are. And then the broken piece of it. With the jaguar piece. That, I guess this is supposed to be the eagle piece, but you can barely tell what it is. Why is there... See, this one actually has some lighting on it. I'm not even sure if that's supposed to be an eagle. Yeah, I'm not sure what these are supposed to be. They kind of look like, I thought, when I first saw it, I thought it was like a Molotov, because it kind of looks like a wine. It looks like a wine or an alcohol bottle. But I think it's supposed to be some sort of mechanical part. And you've got different versions of it. Oh, you've got 3. So I have no idea if they're, oh, okay, so you can see... Yeah, I'm not sure what it's supposed to go to. Maybe this was originally for the clock area? And more parts. And these all look normal here. So I think the previous items, the wristwatch and some of those chemicals, and then the different version of those puzzle pieces. And then this key here, I don't know if we get a key like this or not. This looks very old. This looks like a key you'd see in Resident Evil 1. I have no idea which. These are normal keys that you get in Resident Evil 2. So, and I notice they have a few of these placeholder images that have Kana on them, and I have no idea what they're supposed to be. So I think that's it. I guess if I find anything else, then I'll make a video about it, but that's pretty much it.